Hi, welcome to this tutorial on ARA. As I communicated to you previously, I'll be starting this series of ARA tutorials on how you can use ARA in um, various works related to data, mostly data analytics, data cleaning, data processing, and data presentation, like preparation of reports. I'm going to give you a summary of some of the thing I'll be teaching you in these tutorials on ARA. I will be um, teaching you how you can create animated charts like this one. This is an animated Rwandan population by age groups. We shall be learning how you can create such an animated chart. I will as well show you how you can create a choropleth. Choropleth it's a geolocation map, a geographic map combined with statistical data. It is what we call choropleth map. Choropleth map like this one. This is a random map I created in ARA, where I visualized the districts of Rwandan, um, uh, which district had the highest number of cells. For those familiar with Rwandan context, we have different numbers of cells per district. This is a map I created visualizing which district has the what number of cells. We have 30 districts in Rwanda. I will also be teaching you how you can create such like a map of Africa like this one, where I visualized population size of African countries. How you can create a map like this one from scratch to this level. You can we will also add additional customization depending on what we want. ARA is a tool mostly created by it's a programming software mostly used by statisticians, and it was as well created by statisticians from New Zealand. This tool, let me open it to show you an interface in which I will be working, or I'll be walking through you. This is a typical ARA studio in which I will be delivering my work daily to daily work tutorials. I will be using this ARA studio. As you see my interface here, I have a table here. I will be showing you how this ARA studio works. It works using the ARA software. This is an IDE integrated how do we call it, IDE? Yeah, let me see the definition of IDE. ARA studio integrated what, I don't remember. Integrated development environment. Yes, it's an environment where you implement your ARA code. If you see here, I have a kind of this is a console for those who install ARA for the first time. You have an interface like this one, and this is a, mm, uh, um, a typical ARA software. But for me, I have this ARA Studio. This ARA Studio, for those familiar with the use of ARA Studio, it's an integrated development software environment where it is a kind of environment where you implement your code. It 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 serves as an intermediate between you as a programmer and the ARA software. Why do I need to use ARA Studio? This IDE helps me to run my code in a smooth way. It is an advanced tool that helps me. Sometimes it's sometimes I can forget which code I used previously, or the whole the whole characters of a given function, and this IDE can support me to remind me the compression of my code. It can support me with additional functionalities uh, above what is offered within the base ARA, or the ARA software, like this one, this console. If I work in this console or this ARA software, I I sometimes get bored because there are some functionalities that are not foundable in this ARA software, but you can find them easily in the ARA Studio. That's why I'll be using the ARA Studio. ARA Studio, it's a kind of intermediate between an ARA programmer and the ARA software. I am going to create a document. You can use ARA scripts to develop your code, but for my case I'll be using the ARA Markdown. Let me call it ARA 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 map creation screencast. It is created here. There are some introduction of using this ARA Markdown, like this one. It introduced me how it does work. All these things I'm familiar with it. These are dedicated with the beginner users, for those who are newbies in using ARA Studio. But I'm going to delete those texts so far, and I delete this one as well. I remain with this document. Let me name it ARA map creation screencast. Let me call ARA map creation as simple as that. Then I click OK. This is the initial document I will be working with. Let me remind you the document. I have created a project, a repository. For those familiar with the use of GitHub, let me open my GitHub page. This is my GitHub page. It's github.com/virasafab. This is my GitHub page. I have created a repository where I will be sharing my code, all the code I used in this screencast from now and the future tutorials. You can find the code used in this repository. It reads ARA _YouTube underscore screen underscore cast. This is the repository where I'll be sharing the code I used in every tutorial. And this, if you want to access this repository, you can copy this github.com/virasafab/ara YouTube screencast. Then you can go ahead and come and open a new project here. If you click on this new project and you select this version control, if you click on this GitHub, I paste the text I copied from that link. Then if I click create this project, if I had not this project already installed in my RStudio, the project we are seeing here will be croned in your local computer or your local machine. For this case, I have it already created on my computer, named Ara YouTube screencast. Then I am going to cancel this, but for your case you'll be click on create project to have it in your local machine. Then I am going to start to show you how my code, how I use my code to create a kind of map, a kind of different graphs. How does Ara support me in my day-to-day work? Let me start by loading. I'm going to loading all the required packages. Those packages I'm going to use Control Alt I to create where I am going to add my code. This is the area where I write my code for this R Markdown document to understand that I am writing a code. The packages I am going to use today is when I want to load a package in Ara, we use library. And the package I'm going to use, it is the Tidyverse. This is an ecosystem. It's an ecosystem I mainly use. It is an ecosystem mainly used by Arab programmers, especially those interested in data science. If you don't have it currently, you can install it using this code here, install.packages. Then you can write here within quotes, you can write Tidyverse. This is an ecosystem where you refine various packages we will be using mainly in these screencasts. Let me load it. I am not going to install it because I have it already. Then I am going to load it, or excuse me, the code. I want the code to be printed in this console. I come here to this setting. I am going to click on chunk output in console. Then I remove output already here. This output, I don't want the output to be mixed with my code. Then I click on remove output. I want my codes to be in this R Markdown, then the output to be printed in this console. And then after loading my package, I am going to load. I'm going to print out the data I'm going to use. These are the data I am going to use. It is called map data. If I print out, let me print out. This is the dataset I'm going to be using for this is let me print it as a table. I will be a table. I will be explain it. How does table work? A table, it's a function that helps us to print our dataset in a clear view. Let me say like that. If I print a whole dataset within console, I can't. It's hard to find the key the first rows of my dataset for me to understand what is all about my dataset. But if I use table, it prints the header and the first 10 rows of my dataset, as you see here. Let me move this this console up. You see I have a dataset having longitude, latitude, a group, order, and the region and subregion here. This is a typical dataset I will be using to create the maps. This dataset it contains all the data, all the geographical dataset to create a world map. Let me show you just as quick as possible. Let me show you how I can create a world map here. I can add a ggplot. This ggplot, it's a function which is part of this tidyverse that helps us to create various types of graphs or plots. Within this ggplot, I add another sub function named aesthetic, or abbreviated as IS. Then I am going to use my x value will be longitude, my y value will be latitude. Then for a ggplot to understand how it is going to plot this data, I need to add a third variable, which is this group. Why do I need to add this group? It's because this longitude, a ggplot cannot understand how to plot this latitude and longitude. For a country to be organized as a country, you need to add a group to show if it's a country like Rwanda. There should be a group dedicated for Rwandan coordinates. Then I need to add group equal group here to allow ggplot understand how to plot all these coordinates in my map. Then I add I will add a geom polygon. This geom polygon, it is the function that helps me to create my actual map. Let me go ahead and create it. As you see, this is where my plot appears. This is a world map. This is a world map, a typical world map. You see the African continent, you see American continent, you can see Europe, it rises somewhere here. This is Asia, this is Oceania, this is Antarctica. This is a world map. I just created using this map data. This map data, you can find a help page on this map data, like this one. You create a question map followed by a function you want to to see a help on that function, you see my map data. These are data incorporated within my ggplot package, already loaded with this tidyverse. As I told you, ggplot2, it is a package which is incorporated within this ecosystem, which is tidyverse. And this map data, they are the geographical data that were availed within this map, within this package, for the users of this package to have to access those data easily. You can see I create a map without any external data. I don't need to import any data from outside R. Then I create a map like this one. If I want to manipulate this map, I can let's assume this map does not look nicer to me. I can remove these coordinates, this latitude and longitude. There is a dedicated package known as ggthemes. If I use ggtheme and I use theme map, this is a function I mostly use to make it look more of a map rather than a typical plot. If I print out a map like this, I see it to be more nice. I don't know, it depends on one's eye, but I prefer to print a map on settings like this one. Then let me assume if I want to have to print this data, if I don't want to print the whole map of world like this one, and I want to filter out a given set of countries within this map of within this world map, I want to pluck out a set of countries. Let me show you. There is a function we use in R that is named filter. This filter function is mainly used to as its name states, it is used to filter. Filter is something we use to remove something else for the sake of keeping what we are interested into. Let me show you how. I have map data. I have map data like this. This is the map data I have. Let me print it in a table. I have a table like this. If I want to remain only the data with this region Aruba, if I want to remain with this region Aruba, I'm going to use filter function, and I use region double equal. This double equal is used to demonstrate which value I want to highlight within my filter function. Then the region of interest in my case will be Aruba. If I print it in this table viewer, you can see all my data. They are all the data apart from Aruba region, they are rejected or they are removed. Then I in this case I remain with only the data related to Aruba region. This is how filter function works. It is the same for those who use Excel. You know, if we use Excel and you go in the filter by different criterias, this is the same filter we use. This is the filter we use in R. Within Excel, let me open Excel here. Let me open a blank Excel here. If I have name like this, I have marks like this. If I have Birasa here, let me show you. If I have Birasa, let me show you. Sorry. If I go here to filter, if I filter out all the data except for Birasa, I click here and remain with Birasa selected. You see, all the data, they are removed except this Birasa. That is how filter function works. This is the same filter function we use within R. Within R, we use function named filter, and this is how a typical filter function works. To a kind of if I want to filter on a given column, this region, I have filtered only Aruba region. All the remaining data are removed using the filter. Let me show you the need of this filter function. Let's assume I want to instead of printing the whole world map, I'm going to filter my map data, and I want to use this region and a filter for Rwandan map. I know Rwanda in the region. Let me print the map data. Let me print the map data for you to see how I decide which region to filter out. Excuse me, there's an issue. What is the issue? Okay, let me copy this one. For your information, ARA, it's a case sensitive. It is case sensitive. That means if a function starts with a capital letter and you start with a small letter, ARA will not react, will not give you the result as expected, because ARA, it's a case sensitive. That is the error I was committing. Then if I write Rwanda here, you will see the region Rwanda. We have a region Rwanda starting with R capital. Then if I want to filter only Rwanda, I need to start writing R capital. Let me show you. If I start only, let me change and use a small letter R. Then if I print out the data, you will see nothing. Why did R not understand me? It's because I started with small capital R, small letter R, while I should have used the capital letter R. Then I print it again. You see, the map of Rwanda is now printed out. This means what? From this whole the world map here, Rwanda is located somewhere here in the part of East Africa here. If I wanted to print only the geolocation data for Rwanda, I need to come back here and filter. I have only added this code line of filtering only Rwanda. This means all the remaining data will be removed, and I will remain only with Rwanda. Let me negate this function, I add, if I want to negate this function, I add this exclamation mark. Let me print out. You will see down here, let me zoom this map here. If you see this this white small area here represents Rwanda. If I negate my function here, I tell Excel, no, excuse me, I tell R to remove the geolocation data related to the region named Rwanda. This is the negation. This is how we negate within filter function. I tell R to remove all the geolocation data. All the geolocation data related to Rwanda, they will be removed. That is why we see a white small area. That is because Rwanda is considerably small on the map of the world. We need to zoom in a little bit to see it closer. That is how we manipulate our geolocation data within ARA. I can remove certain regions, I can add certain regions. You see, if I want, let me tell you, let me show you how I can. Let me copy this. Let me show you how I am going to map of. I am going to create the map of the East African community countries. If I want to create the East African community countries, let me show you how you can create, starting with the data we have here. Remember, everything I am creating here, it is within the Tidyverse ecosystem of packages. I am going to use as well the filter function. For this case, I am going to use the region as we did in the above code, but there is a slight change because East African community consists of many countries. I need to use this combination of letters, percentage in percentage. This is used to select more than one item. This is how we select more than one item. Then I use this C to demonstrate a vector of many items within ARA. That is how we demonstrate a list of many items. We use that C as a concatenate. That C stands for concatenate. Then I am going to demonstrate all the countries I am interested into. Those are the countries of East Africa. Let me to avoid that I make any mistake, I am going to print my world map data. Let me print my world map data in the table above. Let me see. I know already in East Africa we have Rwanda. I know it. I know Burundi is written like this one. I know Kenya should be written like this one. I know Tanzania should be written like this one. I know Uganda should be written like this one. What else? South Sudan. Let me see how South Sudan is written here. South Sudan, Sudan, is it like this? let me see. Okay, South Sudan. Let me copy it and paste it within my selection. Then another country should be, let me see, DR Congo, which is now the newly added member in East Africa. I don't know if it is written like this, DR Congo. No, let me write Congo. Democratic Republic of the Congo. You see, I am going to add it. You need to make sure that your list is your country's name are within quotes, are within double quotes. You can press them into single quotes or double quotes. I think these are the all countries currently available within East Africa. Then to combine this function, I use this pipe function, this pipe operator. This pipe operator is used to combine multiple functions. You see, I have started to using the map data, geolocation data. I add a pipe operator to combine it with this filter function. After filter function, I add another pipe operator to combine the above code with this ggplot used to create maps. Then I am going to run this code. You see, these are the map of East Africa. This is the map of East Africa. If I want, because this map of East Africa, it's hard to know where Rwanda locates on this map. It's hard to know where is the DR Congo. If I want to fill, I need to fill this. I fill it with the region. Let me show you how the fill option works. You see, the fill option is used to separate my countries on the map. You see, this is the DR Congo. This is Burundi. Burundi is in the southern region of Rwanda. This is Rwanda. In the northern part of Rwanda, we find Uganda. We can find Tanzania here. It is located in the eastern part of Rwanda. You can see we have Kenya here, I think. Is this Kenya? Maybe this is Kenya. This is South Sudan. These are the 7 countries within East Africa. This is how I can create a quick map of East Africa in this simple code like this one. I used the map data already availed within the ggplot package. I have filtered all the countries within the East Africa. I have used this ggplot to create the map using longitude, latitude, and grouping my geolocation data to specify which country, which coordinates for given countries are going to be grouped together. If I did, let me show you. If I remove this group option for East African community, let me show you how they can be plotted. You see, they are data that have been mixed because I have removed this group. That is the importance of adding the group. This group helps ggplot to know how it will be placing my geolocation data on the map. You can see this is a gap created. This is a confusion created by the removing of this group option. If I run it back, you see my map is now well organized by using this group. You can see if I want my map to be labeled, I have legend here. Let me assume I don't want legend. You can see my region has overlap with a region of the DR Congo here. I need to rearrange my region here. I am going to rearrange and use region dot position. I am going to use it. Let me see if it top works now. Let me use it. You can see I remove the region from left bottom to the top right. I can as well label my map. I can label my map whenever I want to add an aesthetic to the map. I use this plus sign. This plus sign is used to add another aesthetic on my plot. Then I am going to add labs like this one. I can add a title like East African community map. Let me print on the map. You can see East African community map title is there. I can add a subtitle. A subtitle is added like this one. I'm going to say this is the map of the East Africa containing all the countries, country members of the East Africa, members of the East Africa EAC community, EAC, including DR Congo. You see, I have forgotten to put the whole text within quotes. Sorry. Okay, you can see this is how we add a subtitle. In summary, if I want to create a map without importing anything outside using the package I have loaded, that is how a map can be created from scratch. This is a map of East Africa used by filtering out the countries of interest. Then I plot those countries on a map using ggplot. Let me give you another example which requires to add another I need to tweak my my map data here. I need to add another column demonstrating the continent for me to be able to plot a given continent. Let me show you how. My map data here, I have printed them here already. I have longitude, I have latitude, I have group, I have order, I have region, I have subregion. This data, assume I want to plot the data for African continent. But for my African continent, I don't know which country here contains are countries of African continent. For me to be able to locate which countries are within the continent of Africa, I will need to add an additional column within this dataset. I will need to add another additional column within this dataset showing this country, Republic of Congo, is part of Africa. This country of let me show you. This country of Democratic Republic of the Congo is in Africa. How can I add it in an automatic way? You see, if you know African countries, they are up to 54 countries. It's hard to do it manually. I cannot go and create a column manually locating Lesotho. It's African country. This one is African country. There is a package called a package called country code. This country code is an interesting package. I'll be using it frequently. This country code will be helping us to locate which country is within which continent. This let me show you an example of how country code works. Let me use country code like this one. Let me open the help page on country code. It converts country codes. It converts long country names into one of many different coding schemes. You see, this is what I am going to use in this case. First of all, I'm going to take the long name of this country, Democratic Republic of Congo. I turn it into a country code. For those who works with country data, you will see something called like ISO 2 or ISO 3. These are the code that are used internationally. They are code you will find like, let me show you, like for Rwanda, we have Rwanda as a long country name, but for code you will see that Rwanda is represented by this RWA. This is ISO 3. For ISO 2, you will find that Rwanda is represented by RW. This is ISO 2. This is Rwanda's ISO 3. How can I create every country's country code? How do I create it? This is how I am going to show you. Let me add another code here. Creating continent map. I am going to use to do it in a number of steps. First of all, I am going to creating country codes. How do I do it? I create this map data. I already have this map data. I have it. I'm going to create using mutate function. This mutate function is used to create a new column. This mutate function, I will use a column like this one, count underscore code equals. Let me load a new package here. I'm going to load I'm going to load a new package here named country code. As I told you, I'm going to load it. After loading it, you see it says package country code was built under R version 4.2.3. After loading this package, I am going to use it here. I'm going to use country code. How does country code function works? You show this function the data you are going to start from. The data I'm going to start from, I know it's region, the column named region. Then I know this region stands for long country name. Long, a very Rwanda, it's a long country name. I wanted to turn Rwanda into either ISO 3 or ISO 2. Then I am going to use let me see how this function works. It works. You need to use source variable, you need to use origin, you need to use destination. My origin here will be, let me see how we say long country name. Origin here will be origin will be yes, it will be like this one. It will be which let me use this one. Origin will be country name. Let me test this one. It will be country name. Then destination will be ISO. I'm going to use ISO 3C. Then let me print this out. Let me see if it works as per my expectation. It is still loading. Let me see if it prints out what I was in need of. Yes, it is apparently worked. Afghanistan is ISO 3 of Afghanistan is AFG. This is correct. Let me save this as continent data, continent underscore data. I'm going to save it like continent data. After creating the data that contains abbreviation, I am going to join this data with using the left join. I'm going to use the left join by using code list. If I use code list, let me print out the code list to show you how code list is going to help me. The code list contains all the countries. It contains all the countries having this AR5. I'm not going to explain everything. My interest is here. It is continent. I will also need let me print in a table for me to show you what I need here. In this code list, I will take this continent, then I will come here and I will take ISO. I need ISO 3C here. You see, I will need only 2 columns here. Then I will use code list. This is the code list I need. Then I use it as I use a function named select. This function select is used to select a given range of columns. Select is a function used to select a given column or given number of columns. Then my columns of interest will be continent, then ISO 3C. These are the columns of interest in my case. Then this left join, you need to indicate which columns to on which column we are going to join the two datasets. You see, the two datasets, this is the first dataset containing ISO 3, and this is another dataset code list containing another ISO 3. Then I am going to combine them using this ISO 3. Let me use ISO 3C again, equal to it will be equal to, as we saw the name here is country code. I'm going to copy this one. I'm going to start with this country code equal to ISO 3. I'm going to remove this equal. Then I'm going to run the code. After running the code, I will need to print out the resultant data to see if my goal has been achieved. You see, this is the Aruba region. It is located within America's continent with the code ABW. Let me see Rwanda. If Rwanda is already put in Africa, you see Rwanda has this country code as RWA, and it is located within continent Africa. This is now perfect. I can now go ahead and create creating the map of Africa. How I am going to create a map of Africa? I'm going to grab this continent data and use ggplot to create the map. I know it will contain longitude, latitude, and group equals group. Then I use geom polygon, which is used to create a map like this. For this case, I want to create the map of Africa. I know to locate the map of Africa, I will need to filter the continent. Whenever continent is equal to Africa, it is the data on which I will be plotting my map. Let me show you how. There is an issue here. I need to use double equal. You see? This is great. Let me zoom. You can see now the map of Africa is now created. You see? If I want, let me zoom it for you to see it closely. You see, the map of Africa is now created. I need, as we saw, I can use fill. This fill option, I will use region as fill. Then I'm going to fill for each country to have a separate code. You see, there is a confusion here because African countries are more than 30. There are 54 countries in Africa. This is the region that is created with my map. To suppress this region, I need to use this theme and use region region dot position dot. I need to demonstrate that I don't want region in this map. After removing my region, you see now the map of Africa is now created. This is the map of Africa. I am going to print print this map using GG themes. After using GG themes, I use the theme map, which is more appealing to me. Let me show you. Okay, let me take this. I'm going to put down this theme. I'm going to put it down here. You can see the map of Africa is now successfully created. This is the map of Africa. This is the map of Africa. It is created. It is created from this. It is created from the map, the world map data, and I located only this part of Africa. I can also change Africa from Africa to Americas. You see, let me show you. You see, the map of Americas is now created. I can as well change from America to Europe. I don't know if Europe is written in this way. You see, this is the part of Europe. I can change Europe from Europe and use Asia. You can see the Asian continent is this one. You see how easy I can change the world map data. I can manipulate them as I want. Let me change this name, creating continent, creating the continent specific map instead of using a map of Africa. You see, this is how you can create a given set of geolocation data, and you can manipulate them as however you wish. You can remove a given set of geolocation data. You can add set of geolocation data. That is how you can create a set of different geolocation data. You can combine them, you can scatter them, you can remove a given location. However you wish, you can do it, as long as you understand how these functions works within ARA, how you can deal with your geolocation data. Let me close by here. As I communicated to you, I will be delivering such tutorial telling you what you can achieve with ARA programming language that can not be easily achieved within ARA or Power BI. You can it's quite very difficult. I don't even think you can create such a map within the Power BI or Excel. I don't think you can do it so far. Maybe in the future versions of Excel or Power BI you will be able to do it, but for now, for my case, when I want to create maps, I don't think of any other options than using ARA. I can recommend it to you. That's why I thought of creating similar such tutorials that can help you to have your head around how you can create a map. Let me conclude from here and wish you a good time. You can we will keep in touch. I will be delivering other types of tutorial on how you can benefit from how ARA is helping many of users like me in dealing with their data like these ones, and how you can benefit with a greater ecosystems of packages that are already available within ARA. And this is very interesting because this ARA is an open source software. You can use it entirely free of charge. There is no cost associated with using this ARA or any package of availed on to be used within this ARA ecosystem. Thank you, and see you in the next episode on this ARA tutorial. May God bless you.